Morning guys, it's time for a hydro update. It's probably going to be the last one of the year. Garden's really winding down and I need the power cord to go to my chicken coop now, so that'll be the end of the Dutch bucket system. I've got a bit of a reservoir, so if I think of it, I might do the milk jug method where you just scoop out some of the nutrient solution and dump it in the buckets and it still drains down. It's October 1st today, so today's the first day of archery deer season, so I'll be going out this afternoon. I had a few things I wanted to get done this morning. Put some traps away. I got to get the power out to the chicken coop, which is just an extension cord, and then I got to make sure the lights are on and all that good stuff. Lights are on a timer. Probably cut the grass, hopefully the last time of the year, but more than likely not. I had my side-by-side on my trailer and I took that off because I didn't make it out to the farm. So just doing some fall prep work, I guess. Putting some of the kids' toys away, putting garden tools away, likely drain the water hose, the garden hose is out, and that sort of stuff. So quick garden update. Like I said, it's winding down. So there's nothing in the deep water. We pulled that out. I showed that a couple videos ago. The tomatoes are still growing. We're still getting flowers. We haven't had a frost in our yard. The neighbors get frost, but we have a pile of really big pine trees, the kind that crush your house when they fall. You can see them all up there. There's some really, really big ones. That one over there by the garage. So we don't get frost, so these things are still doing all right. Tomatoes, there's still a mess of tomatoes. The peppers are still growing, still producing flowers. Some of them are just starting to change now, so that's cool. I was worried that they weren't. That's, I think, the red chilies. These ones here are the jalapenos. You can see that, it's still really doing strong. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's probably 15 or something up there, and it's still producing flowers. Cucumber is dead. So I will cut that plant off and stick it in the compost. There's a couple cucumbers on there. If I get around to making pickles, I will. If not, that will become chicken food. So asparagus hasn't really done much in a while. It's just kind of holding its own, making some good roots. Chickens have been in there pulling bugs out. The peas, yeah, chickens got those. Chickens are out and about this morning. They really enjoy coming out, and soon they won't be coming out because of the cold. They don't like the cold, so chickens are in there eating the peas. That's Roxy. Tomatoes are still producing. The peppers, not sure if you can see it, but there's 4 or 5 bell peppers on there. This is the one that had the really big one, and I pulled it off and it was full of worms, so I threw it into the chicken coop. Lots of tomatoes, like I said. All the peppers are really producing now. I don't really know why it took them so long to get their butts in gear. Oh, a couple tomatoes fell. I find these Romas don't stay on the vine very long. As soon as they get, orange, they fall off really easy. So I don't know if that's something with Romas or if it's just I'm catching them a little too late. But I mean, like I said, they're orange. They're not red by any means. Like these ones here, I'll probably take off just because they're at that stage, and if the chickens bump them, they're gonna fall, and then the chickens will get them. Like that one right down there. Still a mess of cucumbers. They're winding down finally. There's, like I said, there's over a dozen. Like, look at the mess right there. Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in like a 1 meter or 3 foot area. That's just crazy. Still have some carrots in. I've been not telling anyone about them, and I just come out and with the kids, and we have one, or I eat all of them. We didn't get many, so I don't want to share. You know, look at them all in there. Cucumbers. That's crazy. So that's about it for the garden. We pulled the potatoes out a couple weeks ago, so there's nothing really to see with the potatoes. I called them reds. They're not reds. They're actually really pink, and the flesh is fairly pink. So I don't really know what I grabbed. Maybe someone who knows more about potatoes can let me know. I just like potatoes. I don't really care if they're pink, green, purple, black, brown. I'll eat them as long as they're not rotten. So I thought I grabbed reds, but because reds usually do the best, they seem to hold up well against the scabbing. I find the golds or the Yukons and stuff, the whiter variety, they really get eaten up by the bugs and the slugs and everything else. So I try not to plant those anymore, just stick with the reds. These the pink variety did really well, so I'm happy with that. So like I said, we're going to disconnect the power going to the Dutch buckets. Well, I'll do that after I cut the grass, so I'm not running over the extension cord. So that's it. That's all. That's a wrap. That will be the end of the gardening, and I'm happy. I'm tired of the gardening. Like I said before, I don't love it, but I do love the fresh vegetables. So potatoes did okay this year. Tomatoes are bonkers. They've done really well in dirt and the Dutch buckets. Cucumbers, I will never do 6 plants or 7 plants again. I think I will do 1, maybe 2 at the most. Hopefully spaghetti squash. I'm not a lover of it, but if I have to eat squash, that's my go-to squash. And the wife likes it. It stores really well. So I think that's something that I can throw in a wooden crate or a cardboard box and store them in my garage. The bell peppers haven't really produced as of right now, but I can see that there's a mess of green peppers growing, so maybe in the next week, it's about all I have, maybe 2 weeks, they'll produce. That would be nice. The beans did all right. We didn't do anything special with beans. I think I planted, maybe 6 rows plus the drunken ones, so like 6 rows altogether. And we didn't eat that many, so next year I'll just stick with the 2 rows, and maybe I'll stagger them a couple weeks apart, 2 weeks apart or so that I get a bit of a longer harvest from them. The tomatoes I'm going to stake. I'm not going to use those tomato baskets. Every year they fall over. Every year I say I'm not going to use them, but I do. But I think this time I'm probably going to hide them so that I don't remember where I put them. Yeah, I'd like to maybe not do 3 bell peppers, maybe just 1 bell pepper or 2 bell peppers, or might just try them in the Dutch bucket. The hot peppers have done really, really well there. Sorry about that, my arm's getting sore. The hot peppers and stuff have done really well in the Dutch buckets, so maybe I'll try putting a sweet pepper in there. Tomatoes, I don't really see a big difference between the dirt and the Dutch. So I'll probably do them in the dirt. I think the Dutch buckets are going to be, I'm not sure yet. The jury's still out on them. I think they did nice. I do like that it's right on my deck so I can grab stuff, but I found that everything is very late to harvest. So that's kind of a weird one for me. So we'll see about that. But all in all, it was a good year, and I hope you guys enjoyed my hydro experiment. Haven't seen too many guys who do hydro outside. I'm also in northern Ontario, so we have a lot shorter of a season. pretty much June to October, you know, so 5 months. That's pushing it. We can still get frost in June, and we definitely get frost in September. So they did well. The deep water culture is definitely something to consider. I really enjoyed it. I plan to move that into the garage maybe this week. We'll see once I get the power and everything disconnected. I've been using it as a bit of a shade. So anywho, I guess this video is getting long for not a lot of garden talk and show and tell. So we'll end this here. Hope everybody has a good weekend. If you're out bow hunting in Ontario or anywhere else, good luck, guys and girls. And we'll see you in the spring with more gardening. Cheers.